Dennis. I assume that the action from Adelaide Oval is not bad, is it? Or you haven't heard? No, I haven't. But, okay, well, you might want to tell Lincoln down the line that I think for the sake of the program, he should use as much of that match as possible, even if it's not great, because the top two sides are clashing. Okay.
It's equal to the 40-point advantage over South Adelaide. The Eagles 13-17, leading South Adelaide on 8-7. The Elizabeth Oval, West Adelaide hold making point advantage at three-quarter time. West Adelaide 13-9 to Central District on 10-9.
Start of the final term here at Footy Park, and it's Port Adelaide by 31 points. 11-13 playing 6-12, led by 8 points at quarter time, 16 points at half time, 31 points currently to Port Adelaide. Shill up and under kick. Darren Williams stands his ground. Grimm knocks it up behind his head. Shell under pressure with a hand pass. Ball jarred wide, gathered nicely by Darren Williams. Pops it up to centre wing grandstand side. And it takes a severe bounce and rolls out of play.
Well, if there's one factor that's affected Sturt's performance, it's their lack of body strength. Port not that skillful today, but certainly aggressive at the ball. Chalmers has won out again. Setri the quick kick, and Rosonico a lot of skill and courage to take that mark.
Off towards Setri. Setri kicks along. Breeze has died here at Footy Park. Tidal, but skirting the pack beautifully was Grimm, and the pass very pinpoint to Paul Kemp. He should be paid the free kick. Well, there's no use in Richter arguing with the umpire. The free kick was as clear as the nose on your face.
Well, it would be a very hard game to umpire too. I'm not saying that the umpires haven't done well, but the lack of skill. There's been a lot of fumbling. The wind has brought the ball to ground, and there have been duels that like that one, where an umpiring decision had to be made.
Oh, Paul Kemp. His kick one, he has a slight breeze to contend with, but it really has died here at Footy Park. Tumble punt kick to full forward. Chance for Troy Bond. Pulled off the ball. Free kick to the youngster. Well, that was clever work by young Troy Bond. Just to paddle the ball forward. And the tackle affected, so the free kick. He's kicked one. Tight on the angle, but only 10 metres out. Improves the angle, pulls it back, and threads it through for his second. Troy Bond. Port Adelaide kicked there 12. 12-13-85. Sturt 6-12-48.
Initiative and confidence from Bond. 2, 3, 4 paces out to the right. Opened up the goals. And although he kicked against the textbook in hooking the body, it was an accurate kick.
Wasn't the Daryl Hicks textbook
it
kick
wasn't
from the pocket.
Jack Odie's textbook either. Jack would have wanted that leg to be straight, but it's on the board. 6 points count. Number 12 for the Magpies.
85 playing 48. That comment just in jest by me. Having a dig at Daryl. Centre field, Johns. Well trapped by Buckley. Around the body to half forward. In the path here of Kemp. Paul Kemp gets around the thread-goal tackle. Long kick to full forward. Tidal in good possession. And he marks from behind, but well, that appeared to be Mark Tidal standing his ground. Well, with the free kick. Bauer short, and Darren Williams the mark.
From the half-back line, Darren Williams just off the interchange late in the third. At the back, Carter forcing through, chipping to half forward with a nice long kick. At the back, Tidal high, off the knee of Wellesby. Paul Williams, John Richter. Setri got it between legs. And off to the right. So Adrian Setri snapping that ball on the boot, looking for number 3 today. It's been the Port Adelaide little men who've been dangerous. Chalmers on top in ruck. Grimm dangerous. But the likes of Northeast and the Rovers have been pretty damaging.
Port lead by 38 points. And Wellesby has encroached over the line. That was pinpoint umpiring by Leslie Harrison.
It must be frustrating for coach Stephen Trigg. Just about every error in the book has been committed, but for infringing in the centre square.
Well, he certainly looked a frustrated man at three-quarter time. That mistake really shouldn't be made by a league footballer. Over the top, lean it, and it's not through for one behind. So Port moved to 12-15-87. Sturt 6-12-48. And the clock ticks down to 5 minutes in the final quarter.
Can the Blues show a bit of excitement? A kick to Dent. At the back, well taken. Buckley takes on the opposition, centres the ball. John's under it. That's a clean take. Off to Richter. Dropping back is Shell. He's been high, and that's well done by Hutton. He stole it somehow. Shell hangs on. Schaefer the kick, but the ball will be brought back. And a late decision, a correct decision, however, to David Hutton.
So Hutton ahead of centre wing to half forward. Leanett jumped high and took a good mark. Brett Leanett, well, he's generally a pretty good aerialist. We haven't seen the best of him this afternoon. From centre half back, straight down the middle. The target, Richter. And a good mark to Northeast. The player for Sturt, in fact, was Robinson. Northeast back towards Rosonico, who clears to the far side. In the path here of Hutton. Diving attempt by David Hutton, successful. And he's had a good contest on his centre wing. One of the Port Adelaide better players this afternoon. Thumps it up to half forward. In late was Grimm. It's forced to ground. Chance here for Richter. He's under pressure, and well, that looked deliberate, but the umpire says a boundary throw-in. Tim Hammond attempting or just limbering up to come onto the ground. So the move will be made by coach Stephen Trigg. Leanett back towards 3 goal. Clears, gains 20 metres from the double blues. And the Sturt player held out was Tony Graham.
He'll bring this ball to the half-forward line. Infield goes Stevenson. Takes a clean mark. Trying to play on quickly with the left foot. Forced to go wide. The overlap is there. Sanderson to the pocket. And forcing through a minor score. And Brenton Sanderson has done some nice, precise things today. Perhaps lacks a little bit of leg speed and stamina at this time. But 17 years of age, what a future he has. Hammond is on. Ben Harris back in that traditional position of full-back that we've known him of yesteryear. Kicks 50 metres. Hammond under. Intercepted by Johns. Off to Judd. Goes wide on that left foot. Brings it back at a searching left foot kick. Goal umpire didn't move. Number 7 is on the board. Judd kicks 7. 7-13, 55. Port 12-15, 87.
You can see Ben Judd, lovely hand pass by Andrew Johns, just speared it through the pack. And Judd, we can see the balance of the youngster, backed his judgment from the pocket and pulled it back successfully for his first goal. So Judd posts Sturt 7th, 7-13 to 12-15. 87 playing 55. Port by 32 points. Tap one of the centre by Schaefer. Comes out to Graham. Spiral punt kick up towards half forward. Chance here for Stevenson. Poor bounce for the youngster. Here's Obst. I should say he's a youngster. Stevenson's not so young, but Obst. Could this be his second? It's close. We'll wait on the umpire. One behind. Sturt 7-14-56. Port 12-15-87.
Obst kicked a nice goal earlier in the game in the second term when he showed a lot of pace in an opportunist position, forcing through the pack. Ben Harris goes wide defensive side to find Paul Northeast. The unfashionable halfback flanker. Value for money is Paul Northeast. The ungainly kick. Dropping back was Hutton. Showed a lot of pace. Now Kemp forcing through, sidestepping. Chalmers the overlap. In front, Bond. Pace from 50, chipping. Tyler. Intelligent football from Bond.
Well, that was explosive work from Troy Bond across half forward. Just did the full circle, and his pace brought him to 50. And the foot pass into space, Mark Tylor just occupying the space. So Mark Tylor, kick one in the third term, lays back and puts his second on the board. So Mark Tylor has 2 goals. Port notch there, 13th, 13-15-93. Sturt 7-14-56.
The old formula for the Magpies at work. The half-forward flankers who are dangerous and mobile. Bond in front. Too much pace for Richter. Looked to centre. Chipped for Tylor. And Mark Tylor's gaining in confidence.
And Troy Bond, in many of his movements, looks not unlike Gavin Wanganeen. Very close to the ground. Schaefer won the tap centre field, taken by Johns, who's had a very good second half to fall forward. Back is O'Keefe, skirting the pack. Stevenson chips and goals for Sturt. And Jamie Stevenson posts here first. 8-14-62 Sturt. Port Adelaide 13-15-93. Stevenson gets number 70 for the season.
Andrew Johns broke out of the centre square, read the ball well off the pack. Looked like an infringement from O'Keefe. Stevenson the overlap. Nothing that Phillips could do to bridge the gap. And Stevenson, who could have kicked 5, he's had 4 simple set shots, but today has been offline.
So 1 goal for Jamie Stevenson. Sturt 8-14 to Port 13-15. The Magpies by 31 points. The bounce by umpire Harrison centre field. Won by Schaefer as getting his hand to the ball. Magpies to half forward. Kemp across to Rosonico. In turn, here's Setri. The Magpies away. Setri from 50 metres. Let's fly, but well offline. And Port, they haven't been that accurate. 13-16-94. Sturt 8-14-62.
Quite a lot of length in that kick. Adrian Setri exploding. Wellesby looks downfield. Sanderson shows confidence. At the back, Schaefer. Needs a little bit of body strength. Centre half back, the fist away. The pace is on. Stevenson wants to be there first, getting keen after that goal. Mead trundling. Painter. And Darren Mead, who hasn't got a lot of goals kicked against him, has been a little bit of trouble, taking over from Delaney today in the custodian's role.
Boundary thrown across half forward for Port Adelaide, who lead by 32 points. Judd's kick was smothered. Through comes Obst, taken by Sanderson, hooks it around the body. Now the bounce was very cruel for Ben Harris. O'Keefe the open goal. Well, that was unfortunate for Harris. O'Keefe kicks his 3rd, and Sturt get their 9th at the 12-minute mark of the final quarter.
Just as in the first term, they came back halfway through the quarter. Sturt with a little bit of luck on this occasion. The ball bounced, beating Harris. O'Keefe just beating Phillips. A simple goal for his 3rd. And just back from injury, coach Stephen Trick will be pleased.
So 26 points to lead to Port Adelaide. Sturt just edging back somewhat. Sanderson puts the double blues into attack to half forward. Stevenson leads in a race. Opposed there to Phillips, but he's just got too much momentum and just carried him over the line.
Not a sharp turning circle.
2 very slow turning circles with Greg Phillips. There's the Sturt bench. Looking concerned. Stephen Trigg sending out the runner. And he'd be frustrated, to say the least. Mistake-ridden game. Troy Bond in defence. Kicks around the body. Leanett stands his ground. Through comes Robinson. Hand pass straight to Rosonico. In turn, straight to Barry Shell. Judd on towards Robinson. The Blues into attack to fall forward. O'Keefe has to fly against 3 Magpies. Down the ground, Mead. Now Tony Graham the chance. 40 metres out, chips and puts it through for Sturt. So the Blues are coming back at the Magpies. They kick their 10th. 10-14 playing 13-16 at the 14-minute mark.
Well, they kicked 2 goals in the first, second and third quarter. They've managed to get 3. Robinson again, the player with enterprise, put it high. 3 Magpies flew. Sturt had the numbers on the ground. Off Obb's leg, Graham shot and popped it right through the centre. 3 plays 2. The Blues fight back to within 20 points.
And I suppose you'd have to say they're a silly chance from here at the 14-minute mark. Still plenty of time. Tap won by Chalmers in the centre. Mark Williams pushed off the kick. Setri in front. Good fist from Richter. Judd lightning hand pass to Robinson, who uses strength from centre field. Pulls it back to half forward. Through comes Obbs. Was he shepherded out of it by Mead? And it's knocked out of play.
I'd say just as well he was. He showed blinding pace, Damien Obst. But Darren Mead, arms across, quite legitimately, within 5, protected his goals.
I would say Obst would have had the pace to run away from the pack. So Port lead by 20 points, but Sturt are making it interesting. Down towards Mark Williams, in defence. Hand pass sets up northeast. Paul northeast. From defensive 50, long kick to grandstand centre wing, Leonard. At fingertip level.
Leonard now on the ball. He's in the main stood Shane Grimm today. Since coming onto the play, Sturt have lifted.
So Leonard, 40-metre kick, Stevenson high. Ben Harris out the back, Bond. And the boundary line wins out. There's a player that's lifted his game. Stevenson, also Ben Judd. So Sturt have picked up their work rate. Stephen Trigg had stern words at 3/4 time. Ben Harris the tap. Mark Williams the hand pass out of the pack, but under pressure, Carter tackled. He's playing his first game, number 33, Stephen Carter.
And as soon as Port are under some pressure, Mark Williams starts to work really hard and get possessions.
Ben Harris thumping knock in the path there of Richter, but it's forced out. Well, I would say the experience of Port Adelaide would just see them tighten up the play somewhat, Darryl.
Well, we need another goal from Sturt to make this game interesting. Harris competes with Leonard. Chance for Kemp, trying to keep it in front. Doesn't have the body strength to break clear. Back Sanderson, gives it to Robinson. Fakes. Northeast. Solid rock. Bounds. Kicks to centre half forward. Fisting away well was Threadgold. Chance now for Bauer. That's dangerous, but Graham takes. Johns splits the centre. Bauer again. Gets to half forward. Off to Johns if he likes. No, turned in circle well. First one, then the other. Did a little bit too much. As a result, O'Keefe was out of position. Northeast wide. Foster runs to halfback.
Foster clearing kick to the outer side. Now Boyd has some space and some options inboard. Long he goes, Russell Boyd. Target Paul Williams. Out the back is Judd. Sturt with the numbers. Judd centering kick. On the end of it, Sanderson. He redirects to the grandstand side. Now Richter has space and needs a bounce. He gets it. Centering hand pass by John Richter. It was poor in the end to Darren Williams. Setri slaps it out wide. Ball ends up with Greg Phillips, who kicks to the outer side wing. And the mark taken by Russell Boyd. Over the top. Foster. Tackle was good by Hammond. Foster got his kick away though. Diving mark taken by Paul Williams. Thumping kick to full forward. Grimm from behind. In front, Wellesby. Good strength by David Wellesby. Towards the boundary line, Schaefer. And it nearly rolls out of play. It's escorted out now by Darren Bauer. Well, that was very effective and determined defence by David Wellesby. Stemming that tide. Some enthusiastic youngsters at the 18-minute mark. The final quarter, Port by 20 points. Judd spins out of trouble with a kick to open space, but only as far as Foster. He'll put the Magpies deep into attack, inside 50, doubling back is Schaefer, who's done a pretty good job in this final quarter.
Getting some touches. Threadgold off to Sanderson. They build from defence, breaking down. Harris now back play. Stevenson kept out by Phillips. Good play from the skipper. Ben Harris brings it back. That's dangerous for Williams. Judd, the hand pass, wide now. Shell from centre wing, straightens up the play, looking for O'Keefe. Good body strength from O'Keefe, will be paid. The shot from Obst. No, the ball will come back. So whenever Stevenson or O'Keefe have been man out with Mead, they've had the ability to mark. Sturt too often have been unable to, or too rarely have been unable to get that ball quickly forward.
So Mark O'Keefe been a good player up forward with 3 goals. And this would make it very interesting. The margin would be pegged back to 14 points if O'Keefe is successful. 30 metres out, he's pushed his kick. Well, that was a crucial shot from O'Keefe. It may really tell the story for Sturt this afternoon. The margin 19 points, Port lead at the 19-minute mark.
Just a little mentally soft, the Sturt players. No real determination to finish off the play. Just happy to get the kick recorded against the name on the stat sheet. Now that hard-working half-back flanker, Paul Northeast, ran a mile to mark safely grandstand side. In front of Carter. He trundles off. Harris slow. Chance for Johns. Now Judd straightens up the play to Painter. The skipper's in touch.
So John Painter just weighing up the options. Lead provided upfield by O'Keefe. Good fist from behind by Mark O'Keefe. Shovels it back towards Hammond. Paddling the ball forward, Tim Hammond. With good pace. Out wide is Darren Williams. 30 metres out, pulls it back and puts it through. So Sturt fighting back here at Footy Park. The margin back to 13 points. The Double Blues move to 11-15-81. Port Adelaide 13-16-94.
Well, they've done it before, just 3 weeks ago against Centrals at Adelaide. They came back with a rush of goals in the last term. That week they went down by 2 points, 2 or 3 points. Today they're in front of 5,000 people. They've kicked 4 goals to 2 in the final term.
And the margin 13 points at the 21-minute mark. So time may be Sturt's problem, but really the way they've been playing, they're right in this. Here's Rosonico, tackled well. Kemp, but Williams gathers nicely. On towards Hammond, sweeping hand pass to Threadgold, who needs a set. Chris Threadgold, grandstand centre wing. And he looks for the boundary line and gains 15-20 metres in the process.
Just inside half forward with Leanett now. John Cale talks to his runner. Calls for service. Northeast saves seconds. 22 minutes into the final term, a quarter in which there were 6 goals. We can look at a 28, 29-minute quarter at least. So about 7 or 8 minutes of football. Graham under, gets the ball to half forward. Stevenson there. Foster took possession, brings it back. Sanderson read it well, quickly to Painter from 60 metres, now to 50, to space, half forward. Johnny Painter, an exceptionally bad kick for him. And Mead to the line, about 30 metres around from Sturt's goal.
Well, John Painter, hands on head, and really we haven't seen that too often in his whole career, John Painter.
Perhaps that little bit of breeze out there is swirling.
Sturt trail by 13 points, taken out of the air by Hammond. Hand pass to slick, Painter on towards Hammond. 20 metres out, couldn't get an effective kick away. Judd, snapshot! Goal by Ben Judd. What a brilliant effort in the final term. 2 goals, 1 tied on the angle, and that one spinning out of the pack. 12-15-87. Sturt fighting back. Port Adelaide 13-16-94.
6 goals to 2 in 23 minutes of football. Ben Judd just able to take. Hammond couldn't get clear. O'Keefe was on his hands and knees. 6-2 in the final term. The Magpies under threat, lead by 7 points.
So 7 points the margin. Still plenty of time. Poor bounce by the umpire will be recalled. It's Brenton Sanderson, who's played pretty well in the second half. There's umpire Leslie Harrison sporting the goatee beard and the short sides, the long back. So fashion and trend brought up by the umpires. Through Leslie Harrison this afternoon. Lean it at centre field. Tap one by Chalmers. Now here's a chance for Barry Shell. Went without the footy. Foster caught over the ball. Pack develops. And the Double Blues appear to be more desperate and more effective with their running play in the final quarter.
Agreed, because it's been a woeful game for 3 quarters. Suddenly the Blues have made some movement, gained some confidence. Chalmers winning out. Graham tries to get kicked forward. Mark Williams is going to have a very important part to play in this game. Beaten by the boundary, no. Just keeping the ball in play was Buckley. And now a throw in grandstand side. Adrian Setri worked hard for lots of touches. The 22-year-old. Teal Cupper. And Port Adelaide start to worry. Assistant coach Fred Gold there assisting.
Off of the ground was effective soccer there by Painter, the half forward. Skirting the pack was Graham. Chance there for Foster, bursting his way through. Good work by Richard Foster. Runs to half forward, spears the pass in towards Tylor. And the mark was paid. Full stretch, and Richter said it went to ground. The replay will be very interesting.
The picture will be shown. It did go to ground.
Player was Ben Harris, in fact, it wasn't Tylor. Well, if he goals, that will be a crucial decision, because the ball quite clearly went to ground. And Ben Harris, better known as a defender, will shoot from 30 metres out. Hold on to a tenuous 7-point lead. Harris, and he's hooked his kick, so make that 8 points to the Magpies at the 25-minute mark.
Just seconds into time on, where the kick from Foster was the one that placed the ball in front of Ben Harris. Now, and Harris did put the ball on the ground. Robinson in possession at half-back for Sturt. He goes to centre wing, looking for Leanett. And Chalmers again in position, taking a safe mark, probably taking 10-12 marks, the ruckman for Port today.
Brett Chalmers, it could be an important mark. In the end, wash-up, awkward kick to half-forward. In front was Williams. Out the back, Wellesby. On towards Sanderson. Kick was well smothered. Good desperation by Adrian Setri. And that player, in fact, was Nathan Buckley. 2 redheads, 26. Clock ticking down to 27 minutes, and time may have run out for Sturt. They trail by 8 points, so 2 straight kicks in it.
Port Adelaide, the masters of slowing down the game. Mark Williams is there directing play. Adrian Setri. Shane Grimm is on the ball. They'll try to keep the ball tight and play the line.
Wellesby won the tap. Setri tackled without the ball. Mark Williams, lightning hand pass to Kemp. Meeting him was Tim Hammond. Out the back bow, on towards Sanderson. High kick to centre wing, and a diving mark by the first game of Carter. Stephen Carter, number 33. Pretty strongly built.
Mark Williams on the boundary line, indicating the line.
Long kick by Carter. Big plack up. Chance there for Paul Williams. Tackle. Should have been rewarded by the umpire. Bow spins out of trouble. Centering kick, Painter from behind. Maybe Sturt's last chance. Robinson on towards Richter. Here's Painter in space. Sturt stream forward to half forward. O'Keefe in front. Couldn't mark. Out the back, chance for Judd, but Foster will tidy up. And the Magpies would poise out of defence. Foster straight down the middle, and he picks out Adrian Setri.
It's going to take time settling the Magpie machine. Leads from Williams. Boyd attacking the ball. Off hands. Shell. Crowd coming alight. Wellesby tapping. Buckley snaps the ball to boot. And Mark Williams. No. Troy Bond. Courageous mark. It was a Mark Williams style of mark. Give everything. Get at the line. And he came to ground about 40 metres out.
And the player attacking Bond was pretty fierce customer, Darren Bower, so good performance by the 18-year-old. And I would say time has run out for Sturt. A gallant effort in this final quarter. Bond, 40 metres out, and he really has a habit of pulling his kicks. So one behind, the lead to Port Adelaide, 9 points, 29 minutes in the final term.
Yes, I think the Jack Odie coaching book could come in handy for Troy Bond. But a better final term. Schaefer wide. Seeking Richter. He'll be paid. No, play on. Port desperate. Williams there too. Half forward right for the Magpies. They lead by 9 points. Tapping forward, Paul Williams. Tim Hammond brings the ball to centre. Northeast in the way again. The Rock of Gibraltar high on the Magpies' best today.
So Northeast, player loose on the far side. Trezonico in turn short, and he picks out Hutton on the outer side, centre wing, in between centre wing and half forward. Long kick by Hutton. The target, Grimm from the side, he couldn't mark. Skirting the pack was Bond. Chance there for Wellesby in defence. Hand pass slick out towards Sanderson, who's played a pretty good second half, Bretton Sanderson. Free kick to Port Adelaide. Lienit's not happy with the decision. And a hobbling Paul Rosonico. Now Lienit may have his number taken. I think he has, yep. He disposed of the player there in Northeast. So Lienit has been reported. 2 reports. 1 for Paul Kemp in the first term, and now Brett Lienit in the final quarter.
More out of frustration than that way than intent. Concerned.
So it's Paul Rosonico, aided by that 50-metre penalty. We can see here the free kick to Rosonico, and you can see the reaction by Lienit. But the free kick has been fully taken care of by Rosonico with a goal, and the sealer for Port Adelaide. They lead by 15 points as Rosonico kicks his first.
Yes, now 31 minutes into the final term. Port breaking clear. And it took some courageous effort to stand ground. Perhaps they're lacking something in skill, Port Adelaide, today. They certainly have had the courage, and it's been players like Northeast, Rosonico on and off the field, where he was injured in the first term, standing their ground under pressure against a pretty inexperienced Sturt side who become a little bit flustered and just blazed away. So 31.5 minutes is a long final term. Port now safely clear, leading by 2-3.
Good fight back by Sturt in the final quarter, but just can't finish off the play. And a free kick, costly one to Sturt, to Port Adelaide, someone encroaching into the centre square. So the free kick with Brett Chalmers, defensive side of centre, straight down the middle, up towards half forward. Harris pushed out, but Schaefer the mark. So Schaefer showed some signs in the second half. Robinson, good intelligent knock behind the head. Port with the numbers though. Setri first to it, and the soccer out of play. So Port win the match by 15 points. The Magpies steady in the final 5 minutes, and Port Adelaide run out winners 14-18, 102 to Sturt 12-15, 87.